Welcome to the Three Kings Boxing Podcast, or pre-podcast, however you want to call it. I'm joined by my man C-Bone and also my man Willie the Kid. How y'all fellas doing tonight?
Doing great, man.
I'm good, man.
Alright, so we had some pretty good boxing action tonight. We had also a fight that was mired in controversy. Now, your boy 2K missed that fucking fight. You know, when you reach my age, you know, and I'm not throwing shade at my man C, he's the oldest on the podcast, but when you reach my age, sometimes you tend to just doze off. You know what I'm saying?
A motherfucker took a nap.
Bruh, I ate a little bit of Thanksgiving food, man. By 7:30, I was gone. Told my wife, I said, hey, wake me up in 30 minutes. She woke me up at 9:44. So I missed that whole damn fight. But I seen both my men here had two conflicting scorecards. Willie the Kid had 94-94. C-Bone had 96-92, if I'm correct, for Jason Sosa. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. I'm going to go with you first, C-Bone, since you had the more bigger lead with your scorecard. What did you see in this fight? How did you have Sosa winning?
Particularly off activity more than anything. I mean, not pure activity, but he controlled the fight. Now early on, Gamboa looked good, looked sharp. Come out in the first 2 to 3 rounds, really, he looked real sharp. Now, tired out. And you could tell that 3-week notice was starting to take effect. And it become more of a one-sided fight for Sosa. And with the knockdown in the 7th and the point deduction in the 10th, I had it 6 rounds to 4 Sosa and made it 96-92.
Okay. So let me ask you this, because you kind of cut out there. I think you went to this fact, but I missed it. Was Gamboa looking like he had ring rust since his loss to Robinson Castellano? Did he look any better than he did in that fight? Or was Jason Sosa just that good?
He looked better to begin with.
Okay.
He looked better. Actually, he looked better throughout the fight than what he did against Castellano.
Okay. Interesting. Well, Willie seems to have it a draw. So that means Gamboa must have did something in terms of how Willie seen the fight, man. How'd you see it, bro?
I saw it was like the tale 2 halves. I saw Gamboa. I thought in the earlier part of the fight, he was moving around better. He was quicker on his feet. Sosa just kept coming forward. You could tell he was just trying to apply pressure. And I saw Gamboa was picking him off from time to time. Yeah, he was getting hit here and there, but I just felt like Gamboa had the better moments. There were a lot of close rounds, swing rounds. And I just happened to score some of them for Gamboa. Then after like the 5th, I saw the fight shifting a little bit, and then towards the 7th, 8th round, it completely shifted in Sosa's favor. You could tell Gamboa got tired, and basically he stood around more and got hit even more. So that's why I came up with a 94-94 score. I could see it the other way. I could see Sosa winning. I just can't really, to be honest with you, give you a from the scores that they had tonight. The best score was actually 94-94. Another judge had a 95-93 Gamboa. And that's acceptable, I guess. You know, if you score the swing rounds one way, 96-92 for Gamboa was just too wide for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 8 rounds to 2, and that just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let me tell y'all what I thought was actually going to happen in this fight, and you guys can fill in the gaps where needed, or tell me, hey, this is exactly what happened, or this is what didn't happen. Since I didn't watch the fight, I did have an idea of how I thought the fight would go. I picked Gamboa to win this fight, but I thought the reason being is because Jason Sosa is a bit one-dimensional. He comes forward, really doesn't have too much of a defense. He tries to be a boxer puncher, whereas he will use the jab here and there to get a little bit closer to the inside. But in all honesty, he's a brawler, and he likes to be in close. He likes to overwhelm his opponents. I figured he would try to do that with Yuriorkis Gamboa, and I figured early on he would have success. But Gamboa, the much slicker, the boxer with better footwork, he's also a boxer puncher, but Gamboa can, move to the outside and use the ring to outbox his opponent if need be.
He had the speed advantage.
Right. And I'm talking footwork and hand speed.
Yeah.
And then I figured that Gamboa would get in trouble early like he did against Michael Farinas. Y'all remember that fight where he was dropped for the first time in his career?
Absolutely.
I felt that Jason Sosa would get something like that on Yuriorkis Gamboa, but then Gamboa later on in the fight would adjust to the guy who's still being the same one-dimensional fighter, and he'll eventually pull more rounds out at the end. Is that what you guys saw? Chris, I know you didn't have Sosa winning the fight, but did he at least turn it on to the effect that I thought he would later on in the fight?
No, it went the other way, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sosa was the one that made the adjustments and got better.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay, so
I think that the 3 weeks
think
notice, and remember, guys, this is a new trainer he's working with. So, how much can you really, in 3 weeks, teach a fighter?
Good point.
That's true. Very true.
So I think their game plan today was to go in there, get a victory, somehow survive the night, and then go to the drawing board and see what they got to do.
Okay. So, based on what you've seen, Chris, Jason Sosa actually making adjustments towards the end of the fight is not something that he's used to doing. I mean, I guess you can make a case when he fought Javier Fortuna. I mean, he was getting his ass whooped the whole goddamn fight. I think he knocked him out in the 11th round. But that, for me, that was just a punch that he landed. It's boxing. You can catch somebody at any time for 36 minutes, right? So
exactly.
But if he's actually making adjustments, as you say, and this is kind of a off-the-whim type of question, do you guys feel that Jason Sosa has learned something since losing to a guy like Vasyl Lomachenko?
I believe he learned how to cut the ring a lot better.
Okay.
Drastically, actually. He got a lot better at that because actually, I'm with you. I thought Gamboa was a little too quick on his feet. I actually predicted him to win this fight too by unanimous decision, and I thought he was just a little too quick on his feet for Sosa because he has always been a one-dimensional come-forward brawler to me.
Yes, right.
And he's gotten better at cutting. He got a little better at cutting the ring off, but a lot of that had to do with Gamboa tiring out, in my opinion, too.
Okay. Willie, this one's for you. Where does Yuriorkis Gamboa go from here?
Wow. I'm glad you gave me that one.
You
Hell
motherfucker, you, huh? Yo, to be honest with you, man, I have no clue. I mean, to me, he wasn't impressive. I didn't expect him to be impressive, however. And he's still a name. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, how he plays out. Are they going to feed him to younger and up-and-coming fighters now? Or are they going to put him like maybe in a title picture or try to at least work his way back up to contention? I don't know. So I really wasn't overly impressed with him. Once he tired out, he got hit awfully a lot. I mean, a lot. A better guy probably would have gotten him out of there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, but somebody like that gets him out quickly.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to talk about him.
That's how I feel, man. Like I feel like I'm not gonna sit here and shit on Sosa, but Sosa's a serviceable fighter, a decent fighter.
He's all right.
He's not great. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So today, he could have easily won that fight. And
he should have.
Yeah, in a lot of people's eyes, he should have. So, Gamboa right now at this point, God knows. I don't know if they could work miracles, but if they can, they can't put him in there with a hard hitter yet, though. Because I'm telling you, once he starts moving, man, it's a problem. And even when he's moving, he still gets hit. So
damn, that's bad.
He fought with his hands down a lot.
That's what he does, though.
Yeah.
He does that.
Yeah, he's been doing. Yeah, but it makes no sense.
He's always relied on that athletic ability.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you're 35.
True.
You know,
yep.
Maybe older. You never know.
Yeah, I always add a 5-year buffer to Cubans, dog.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's 35, so at one point or another, you're gonna start fighting keep fighting the same way over and over and over. It's like the definition of insanity, man. Like,
right.
Keep expecting the same results over and over again. I'm telling you, man. Somebody that would have been a better boxer will probably got him out of there tonight.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
So, before we end this, no Tevin Farmer, no Miguel Burchell, Vasyl Lomachenko, Tank Davis, none of those guys, none of them. Albert Machado, none of them. They can all beat him.
No.
I mean, if HBO feels like they could put him in there with Tevin.
Well, here's the thing: is he belongs to Golden Boy.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So
I'm seeing him back on ESPN around about February or March. To be honest with you, is what I figure.
You know what? I could
right.
see Gamboa fighting the winner of Vargas, Steven Smith. I could see that.
That could happen.
Francisco Vargas, that is, for people out there that don't know who the fuck I was talking about.
Well, they got like,
yeah, you probably plumb off. Look on Jesse Vargas, ain't he a little too big?
Hey, Chris, there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers out there, man. You already know.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I could see that fight happening since he's with Golden Boy. That's a good point. He is with Golden Boy. Golden Boy is 100% relegated to unstable fights right now. So unless he's fucking with a very small promoter, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I maybe Tank Davis would be out of the question. Vasyl's definitely out of the question. Miguel Burchell, isn't he with Golden Boy?
Yes.
Yep. So I could see that happening. You know, Alberto Machado, that's the dude that just beat Jezreel Corrales. He has a small promoter. I mean, there's some fights that could be made for him, man. And, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. So, after tonight, Yuriorkis Gamboa improves to 29-2, excuse me. And then Sosa regresses to 23-3 in a controversial decision. All right, let's move to the next one. Now, this fight was kind of crazy. I was watching it, and in the beginning, I'm looking at, what's the dude's name? Fuck, I forgot his name now.
Valera.
Yeah, thank you. Felix Valera. I always want to say Felix Cuba. I don't know why I want to say that shit. Or Felix Cora. That's the, Felix Cora is a cruiserweight, I believe. I always want to say that. But, Felix Valera. I was looking at him early on. I was like, man, he looks really good. You know what I'm saying? Look how he boxes. look how he's catching Sullivan Barrera with the check left hook, man. He looks nice. Oh shit, he just knocked him down with the check left hook, man. That looks nice. And then all of a sudden, you know, he just, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Willie, help me out. What did you see, Willie? I don't even know what to say, bro.
See what had happened was, really, man. The guy was just too wild in there, especially on the inside. Kept hitting Barrera low.
Yeah,
and that cost him a few points. 3 to be exact.
Yep.
I had a 98-88 at the end of the fight. He's a tough guy. He keeps coming forward. I give him credit for that, man. But he throws his looping shots. Barrera was picking them off, going straight down the pipe on him. Really boxed well, showed his experience. It really was a better fighter, period. And he just basically outclassed his opponent. You could tell that it goes to that saying, there's levels to this shit. Barrera was just a notch better, man. It was an ugly fight, though, but Barrera was
very
notch better.
ugly. Very ugly.
The one thing that I noticed about Barrera, and you've seen this against Andre Ward. Hell, you've seen it further back in his career before he even fought Andre Ward. Probably back when he fought, like, around the time he fought Jeff left hook Lacey and knocked him out in the second round and shit. Sullivan Barrera is very wide open. I mean, bruh.
Chinny, too.
And he's chinny, right. Like a guy like Alexander Gavadzik, one of the better boxers at light heavyweight, I think he dusts the shit out of Barrera right now. You know what I'm saying? Because there's literally two ways you can fight Barrera. If you fight him close up, as Andre Ward did majority of the fight, kind of just said, hey, I know this guy's bigger, but I'm going to show y'all why I'm a better fighter on the inside than him, right? You can literally tire Barrera out by round 6 if you don't allow him to bully you. If you actually turn the tables on him and work his body like Andre Ward was doing, he'll tire out by 6 rounds, right? If you can weather the early storm, he'll tire out eventually. Then, on the flip side, he's so wide open, and he doesn't bring his hands back all the way, that you can stay on the outside if you have a reach advantage and box this motherfucker. Felix Valera could have won this fight. And
he would have used his jab a little more.
If he would have used his jab more, if he would have stayed on the outside, what he was trying to do was he kept trying to time Sullivan Barrera with a check left hook, and he also tried to time him whenever he would switch to southpaw with a right check hook, right? And when he would do that, he would get tied. He would get caught up in the inside like a phone booth type of fight, to where he would get tied up and he couldn't do anything, right?
Yeah, because he didn't set it up with anything.
Exactly. It was just really just one punch trying to time him, and then he'd back up, dance around a little bit, then he'd stagnate himself, jump back in, get tied up. That's exactly what he was doing the whole fight. If he would have stayed on the outside, go ahead, C-Bone.
He smothered his own power all night.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ding, 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 ding. Exactly. Exactly. So if he would have stayed on the outside, I mean, he had the right game plan, stayed on the outside and threw more combination punching at Barrera. As Barrera is coming forward, this motherfucker wasn't even cutting the ring off. Barrera was coming directly towards him. You know what I'm saying? Dude, stay on the outside, ring off combinations, and circle him. Easy work.
Hey man, a double jab.
Yeah.
Here and there.
Yeah.
Like something.
And to be honest with you, he did something stupid, guys. In the 4th round, he turned southpaw. And actually, to be honest with you, that was the only round I gave Valera. He turned southpaw and was beating the shit out of Sullivan Barrera. And then after that, he went right back to orthodox and stayed orthodox the rest of the fight. And proceeded to lose every round after that. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, when he went southpaw, he opened up the cut again.
Sure did.
He caught him with that hook, right on the cut.
Sure did.
But he didn't do it after that again.
and this is.
And I can't blame the corner, because I was listening to the corner when they would go back, and the corner kept telling him, "You're not using your jab. You're not using your jab. You're not doing what we talked about." Blah blah blah. So they were actually getting on him. He was just going in there and I guess doing whatever the hell he wanted to do.
Well, they were speaking Spanish. I don't know what they said, so maybe you can tell me.
You.
Yeah, well, no. I'm gonna ask you a question though. Did they tell him after the 4th round to go back to southpaw in Spanish?
Nobody ever even mentioned it.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. That right there.
I think he ad-libbed that.
Hell yeah. He definitely, if he didn't do anything right, the one thing he should have done right after that 4th round is said, hey, his cut is on the left side of his head. I was hitting him with the check right hook at will for like at least a minute and a half of that round. Let me go back to southpaw. That's working better for him.
Exactly. Put my quicker, harder hand to the closer to him.
Exactly, man. So, I mean, I y'all might disagree with me, but I kind of like the kid. You know what I'm saying? He an ugly motherfucker, real ugly. But
I like him.
Bro,
because he
everyone
got
needs his birth certificate checked.
I actually like him because he got hurt.
Yeah, I like him.
He made it. You know what? It was a whitewash on my scorecard, but he still made it interesting. You know what I mean? Like it was still a good fight for him. Yep. For Barrera, on the other hand, I mean, there were some things I didn't like, but at the end of the day, he got the W. So, and guess what? That lines him up to be the mandatory for the WBA. WBA light heavyweight title. So
he is not ready for them problems.
He's the mandatory for Dmitry Bivol. So,
and that's my next question, and I guess I'll go to C-Bone.
Bivol.
So how does that look? C? Bivol versus Barrera.
I do not see him making it past 6-7 rounds with Bivol.
I knew he was gonna say something like that. But you got to
really
think though.
Man, he leaves himself too open. If he don't learn to bring his hands back, and I know his trainer real well, Derek Santos Rosario. If he don't learn to get them hands back, I know he's not teaching him that shit. At least I hope not. But if he don't learn to get them hands back, Bivol is probably, other than Anthony Yard, the most athletic guy at the top of the light heavyweight division.
Right.
Okay? He's got everything, and plus he's got a lot of skill coming from that Eastern European background. Their style was built on the basic fundamentals of the sport.
Right.
And he's a complete package. Bivol's a complete package. I'm not sure anybody in the division can beat him right now, but Andre Ward's gone. But I mean, it's yet to be seen. I know what he did to Barrera when he fought him a year and a half ago. He made him like shit. It looked terrible.
120 to 108.
He was
120 to 12 rounds to 0.
Wasn't he the only guy to survive? With Dmitry?
No,
full fight.
No, I don't think Bivol has a. I don't think he has a perfect record, man. I don't think
he's
Bivol,
undefeated, but he don't have all knockouts.
Yeah, it's not all knockouts. So he's not the only one.
But he's the first.
I think one other one did.
Yeah, he's the first one.
He could be the first one. I'm not sure, but he's a tough kid, like you said, Willie. He's tough. He's got
a lot of heart.
A lot of heart, man.
Yeah, I like him, man. They just need to go back to the drawing board and tap into his potential and his abilities. He's only 29, even though this motherfucker has the Greg Oden effect and looks like he's 47. But,
he does look like Greg
Oden. What I just said.
Yeah, dude.
You know what? When I see him, exactly who I thought of. I could go back to seeing Oden playing at Ohio State and shit. Because he didn't play much in the NBA, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and you know what, too? He has a good left hook. He needs to tighten that up, though.
Absolutely.
It's coming out of, I don't know, man. If they were in New York, that left hook in Manhattan, that left hook was coming out of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So,
I'm about to say Trenton somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's very wide shots all night. I'm like, oh Jesus Lord, but he has heart.
Yeah.
I don't know if Barrera is ready for. I would see on that one, man. Dmitry might eat him up, man.
Yeah, I got Dmitry. And that's another thing. Me and Chris mentioned that he's opened up the middle. Where is Dimitri's point of attack? What does he always do? He throws a lot of straight shots down the pipe.
1-2, baby. 1-2.
Yep.
1-2.
Straight shots.
He is perfect. I mean, he's as straight and short with his punches as you get. And it's picture perfect, really.
Absolutely.
You couldn't draw it up any better.
And they have torque on them, so
Man,
they're coming.
That dude can
hit.
hit.
Smashing the cigarette with his back foot, too. So, I mean, he's bringing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he can hit. He can definitely hit. I like Bivol. I've always been a fan of his before he actually turned professional. So that's gonna be interesting. All right, let me say one more thing before we move to the next one. If Sullivan Barrera would have actually taken the Sergey Kovalev fight, would he have had a shot? And now remember, guys, this is not Shabransky. He beat Shabransky. So think about styles and think about the Kovalev that actually had just lost to Andre Ward, because that fight was like maybe a few months after that it would have taken place. So if he would have actually not turned it down and fought Sergey Kovalev, do you think he would have had a shot at that time?
I think we're speculating really on it, but I don't know. I really don't know. Kovalev does a lot of the same things Bivol he does well. He's just slower at it. You know what I mean?
That's what I was waiting to hear. Yep.
He's just slower at it, but he does a lot of the same things Bivol does well. He's just slower at it, and has to set it up more behind his jab instead of reacting.
And I had to get that out there, man, because you got a lot of fans that ride with Sullivan Barrera, and I heard a lot of people talking about how Barrera would have knocked out Kovalev if they would have fought back when they should have fought. So that's why I threw that question out there.
You know what? They were probably the same people that were knocking Ward for fighting Barrera.
They were. You already know. They were the ones that were saying, you know what it was, Willie? They were the ones that were saying Ward was scared of Barrera when they had that little Twitter shit going on.
Yeah.
And then when he actually got the damn deal signed, they turned around and said, oh, this is a bullshit fight. You know, Barrera's he's still a prospect. Yeah, same guys. You're on the money. Same dudes,
always
man.
is.
Yeah, same dude.
Always is the same guy.
All right, let's move on to the grand finale of tonight's fights. I mean, you know, let me just say this. Why do we have organizations rushing to make title fights against guys who, on paper, don't look like they should be in the same ring together? And then, of course, it turns out to be that way when they get in the ring. I'll go to C-Bone with that one first, man. Why do you think the WBO said, hey, we can't give you Barrera, let's give you Shabransky, the guy that Barrera already fucking knocked out? What's the logic in that?
You want the real answer, or
Yes.
you want me to speculate?
The real one.
The real answer is money.
Okay.
The real answer is money. The percentage of purse is where the sanctioning bodies get their money from, okay?
Yep.
Kovalev, with Ward gone, without a fight, Kovalev is the biggest name in the division now.
Okay.
He's going to generate more money than anybody else in the division. So you could have put him in there with a damn near anybody that's top 15, top 20, and WBA is probably going to sanction that for the vacant title. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation.
So let me ask you this. Well, let me clarify a little bit for a lot of the listeners out there. So basically, the organization being able to put their belt around Sergey Kovalev simply because he is the most popular heavyweight or light heavyweight in the division right now, with the absence of Andre Ward, turns out to be more revenue under the table for that particular sanctioning body. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely, 3%.
Okay. So let me counter with this. We got a lot of Adonis Stevenson fans that beg to differ.
Well, I understand that, but the WBC's already got him.
True. So why don't they
They're
make?
the only ones that don't have a cap.
Yeah,
He Stevenson has fans?
bruh. I'm
Yeah,
not.
in Quebec.
I thought that was
no.
in Canada, man.
Nah, man. Hey, I'm not gonna name these guys' names. All I'm gonna say is,
I know one.
yeah. Hey, you know what? He's got a. I might be having the movement pink slip for him. If he keep claiming Adonis Stevenson like that, you know who you are, fam.
Hey, yo, I'm available.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
a long way with flying.
But there's guys out there, and I'm all over social media, all over the place. I see people out there that are really advocating for Adonis Stevenson to the point where they believe Adonis is top 3 pound for pound right now. And I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
Did you leave that group immediately?
No, this ain't a group. This is like I said, I ain't trying to put nobody out there, but
This is friends of ours.
Nah, hell nah, because we wouldn't talk to them no more.
Oh, we don't call them friends.
Yeah. We wouldn't talk to them no more, man. That'd be it.
You know what I call them? Somebody I used to know.
Exactly. The cat I used to know. Exactly.
Until I got to know him.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I don't know, man. This is a dumbass fight. Vyacheslav Shabranskyy and Sergey Kovalev for the vacant WBO title. Dumbass fight. Chris is spot on. That's exactly why they were able. And man, to be honest with you, the WBO was probably like, oh, hell yeah. Sullivan Barrera is not going to take the fight? Shit, put him in there with fucking Shabranskyy. Perfect. That's even better. You know what I'm saying? Based on what Chris said, you know?
It was perfect situation.
That's exactly
for
what it
Kovalev,
is.
too.
What we
Coming off
said?
2 losses.
Say that again, Willie.
It was a perfect situation for Kovalev, too, coming off 2 losses. I'm pretty sure, you know, in fighter's mind, doubts always seeks in. So to get an opponent that he could just, you know, exploit him with a jab and then land his power shots off of that and make it look easy and get him out of there in 2 rounds, it helps to boost his confidence. So it worked out for him perfectly. I don't know what the WBO was thinking, but I'm sure Kovalev ain't complaining.
Look, I know my wife's going to hear this and she's going to give me hell about this, but Shabranskyy makes Golovkin's defense look like fucking Mayweather.
Oh, no, you didn't have to do that, bro. You didn't have to do that.
It does, man.
Oh,
it's that bad,
shit.
man. He was tailor-made. I mean, he's just what Kovalev needed.
Yeah.
I'm mad as hell because in the world prediction contest, I picked KO once. So it pissed me off, kind of, to be honest with you. It lasted 2 rounds.
You know what, fellas? And Chris, I want to expand on what you said about the money. I'm looking at the WBO rankings right now for the light heavyweight division. Number 1 is Alexander Gvozdyk. Okay. Number 2 is Sergey Kovalev. We'll skip down to fucking number 10, where Vyacheslav Shabransky's at. Okay? So they had number 2 versus number 10 for the vacant title.
How did number 1 get skipped, I wonder? Oh, I remember they got the same manager. Him and Kovalev got the same manager. That's right.
Right. So, but shouldn't it been Alexander Gvozdyk, right? By the way the organizations are supposed to work, it should have, if you didn't want to have Gvozdyk versus Kovalev, well, then it should have been Gvozdyk versus Barrera. If Barrera didn't want to take that fight, it should have been Gvozdyk versus Marcus Brown. Marcus Brown didn't want to take that fight. It should have been Gvozdyk versus Yarde. My point is, it should have been Gvozdyk versus somebody, not Sergey Kovalev, if it's not about money. You see what I'm saying? So
you're exactly right.
That's further proof, man, that, you know, what Chris said is spot on. I mean, this is ridiculous, and it's the business side is taking over boxing, and a lot of the fans are not privy to it. And to be honest with you, a lot of the fans support it. They will argue with you till fucking dusk, from dawn to dusk, about why the business side is working. Go ahead, Willie.
They only support it when it works to their point. When it works against their point, they're against it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's kind of tricky. I would say doing articles and shit now, like you get to like you got to look at shit through a totally impartial eyes, and the business side of it is there, and you're right, man. It seems to be more acceptable now in society among the casual fans or the fans that only follow a certain fighter. They're not like us, man. We follow the sport. I mean, when you talked about us in the promo, you said we follow all 17 divisions.
Absolutely.
And you weren't lying, but I'm here to correct you and tell you that you forgot that there's 18 divisions now because you keep forgetting about Canelo weight.
Right. Well, technically, it'd be 19. You got Super Canelo weight too, 164.5.
Yep. Oh my, yo, that shit is hilarious. Super Canelo weight is 10 pounds higher. The motherfucker.
9.5. Let's get it right. But yeah, crazy.
That shit is hilarious, man. No doubt.
This is the WBO we're talking about, And I think the last video we cut up, we talked about the WBC doing that with Brazil. What's his name fight? The last fight he had with, I guess,
Molina in Brazil.
Eric Molina,
Molina.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Like, how were they fighting? You know, to be number 2.
To be eliminated.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and Eric Molina was coming off a loss, I believe, to Anthony Joshua. I'm not sure. I think that was his last fight.
So I would say money and some work hand in hand with certain promoters, managers, etc.
Well, I think that particular situation, you got Al Haymon behind that. That's number one. Then number 2, Deontay Wilder is Al Haymon's most celebrated heavyweight, right? Probably is. Well, yeah, he's got other heavyweights, but that's his most celebrated heavyweight. I think that they will feed Deontay Wilder food until he gets that Anthony Joshua fight, and that's what that was. It was like, well, shit, we got another mandatory here. We don't need to fight Dillian White or anybody else that Eddie Hearn is talking about. He's got a mandatory now in Dominic Breazeale, a guy that, Deontay Wilder will probably knock out the fucking ring on some Jared McClellan, Nigel Benn type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying. That fight is a complete mismatch, and I think it was a good setup, smart business move by Premier Boxing Champions and Al Haymon and Lou DiBella. Totally forgot his name for a second. It was a smart business move by them, and that's what we got, man. So
yeah.
Well, they reissued Dylan. Got another eliminator coming now.
Dillian White versus who?
Brazil.
Again, so Dillian White's fighting Brazil?
Make either one of them the mandatory. They're going to order another eliminator.
Oh,
so
wow.
You can't just skip the number 1 ranked guy.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
I agree with him, too.
I agree. And to be honest with you, I think, and we going off a little topic here, but fuck it. I think Wilder should fight Dillian White over Dominic Breazeale, in my opinion. He should most definitely fight him over Dominic Breazeale if he has to, right? Obviously, Anthony Joshua's not. They're not going to make that fight in 2018, in my opinion. Anthony Joshua's getting ready to fight Joseph Parker, most likely.
At least you gave him the name this time.
Well,
I mean, last show he was Joseph Smith.
Chickenhead Parker. That's who he was. But he's fighting Anthony Joshua, so I gotta give him his name back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
that's what it looks like it's gonna happen.
Exactly. So,
yeah,
all right.
March. I'm looking at end of March, middle of April, probably.
Well,
okay.
Since you just told us that, we 38 minutes in. Let's go ahead and lead into C-Bone's Buzz, man. What else you got for us?
We got Jorge Linares is going to be facing, looks like Mercito Gesta, which is a lot of people don't remember him. The casual fans really ain't going to know him, but he fought Miguel Vasquez back in 2012 for the IBF title. He's kind of been laying low since. He tried to work a deal for a Luke Campbell fight, a second Luke Campbell fight, but they couldn't come together. They also tried, well, we know the history of the Garcia situation and stuff, but
yeah. Right
now I'm thinking Oscar's wishing, damn, I should have held off. Maybe I could have got Gamboa in there. But
yeah. They could have.
And we also, Dmitry, anybody watched the fight tonight knows that Bivol was there at the fight, and it wasn't so he could scout Sullivan Barrera. It was because him and Kathy Deaver came to an agreement. She's gonna co-promote him with World of Boxing, Rabansky.
Okay.
Which puts him in a main event's got a pretty good stable at 175. With the addition of him, with Kovalev, Barrera, Bivol, it gives him a pretty good stable at 175. Gives him 2/4 of the champions right there.
Do they have the money to do those fights here?
Good question.
Or would those fights be overseas in Russia?
Good question.
Depends on which one it is. Barrera,
if you want to put Barrera versus either Kovalev or Dmitry, where will you think that lands?
Versus Bivol, I can see it possibly going to Russia. Versus Kovalev, it would be here in America, I'd imagine. Kovalev is actually, I mean, I know a lot of shit come about. A lot of the fans were screaming, you know, he got robbed by American judges in the first Ward fight. We're not going to touch on that, how we scored it. It's well known how I scored it. But the fact is, he lives in California, you know? He's between California and Florida 90% of the time.
Yes.
So he's all but an American, you know, pretty much now anyway. So, and all his fights have pretty much been in America. He returned to Russia to fight, but I'm trying to think of who he went over and fought. Before the Ward fight, first Ward fight.
Chilemba. Isaac Chilemba.
Chilemba, yeah, that's right. It was Chilemba. And that was his first fight back in Russia in quite some time, you know.
That was actually in the same place where he killed a guy. The same venue.
That same arena and everything, yep.
Yes. That was one of the storylines leading into that fight. He didn't look great in that fight. By the way, he did say before this fight that, you know, he finally started to, looks like, take ownership of his losses.
Yes, sir, he did.
Saying that he's trained better, that he's, you know, keeping his body more pure now. I guess he stopped drinking and all that stuff, so he's more concentrating on the sport. That Andre Ward would get him a wake-up call. So
that's exactly. You know, I did an interview, a conference call, and I've got an article on FreeKingsBoxing.com where I talked to him and Clemens and the new trainer, and it's a pretty good. It's one of the better articles I've done recently, in my opinion, because he kind of takes ownership of the losses. You know, he still kind of complains, but not like nothing like he was in, let's say, July. Okay, and he seems to listen to this new trainer a lot better, according to Clemens, anyway.
Yeah.
Respect is an aspect there, I guess. You know,
absolutely.
Most of us wouldn't listen to somebody we have no respect for. So
absolutely.
No, you're right. You're 100% correct.
To clarify a little bit on what C-Bone, the news that C-Bone gave us with Jorge Linares and Mercito Gesta. Gesta, at one point in his career, when he was fighting at 118 pounds, they used to call him Little Manny Pacquiao at that point in time. He's then moved up. Shit, he fought at 126, 130. Now he's at 135. He's a little small in my opinion. His natural weight is he's much smaller than Jorge Linares, but he's a good fighter. He's only lost one time. It's interesting to see how that fight plays out. I have not watched Gesta at 135, so I've only watched him at 130 and 126. So I'm interested to see.
The best fight was at 135.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see that. fight. So that's gonna be a fight where I need to look at some film.
I'm gonna have to look. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do the same because right now the fight doesn't excite me at all.
And see,
yeah, that's the last time I seen him fight. That was 2012. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. So the fight doesn't excite me at all, but I'm gonna find a way to see. Or I just feel like this is gonna be more of a stay busy fight.
It excites me only because I know who Gesta was before. But, again, I'm not excited because I'm not sure how he looks at 135. I mean, Miguel Vasquez, to me, at the time that he beat Gesta, that was one of my favorite fighters in boxing at that time. You know what I'm saying?
He was, at that time, he was somebody to be dealt with.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was a serious problem at 135.
Yep.
At that time. You're right.
So I don't know. I got to look at some tape. I got to look at some of his most recent fights before I actually say I can give credit to Jorge Linares for this particular fight. But it is what it is. And also, back on the Sergey Kovalev, I want to ask you guys a couple questions with him. You know, he's back. Willie made an excellent point about how he's now starting to take responsibility for his losses, his mistakes. He's got a newfound persona, it seems. Can we fucking get this Adonis Stevenson fight? Can we get it? He called him Chickenson in the post-fight interview. Can we get it?
Yes, he did. I don't know, man. It's Adonis Stevenson. It's like unpredictable. Kovalev, he fought Andre Ward, so I guess he will fight Stevenson.
Yeah.
So it's not all talk from that aspect. The fight fell apart twice before. I believe each side is to blame for one and one. So I don't know, man. Stevenson doesn't seem to really. It doesn't matter who he fights. As long as he keeps fighting in Canada, they'll just show up to watch him.
Yeah.
And he knows that. So it's like he's taking full advantage of it.
I agree.
That's not a fight I see happening.
I just don't see it.
I think Stevenson's belts for sale to Badu Jack in March, April, somewhere in that area.
Yeah, that's the rumor going around.
That's a good point. That's a good point right there. I don't know, man. I think that's a fight that, even to this day, I think it still needs to happen. You got Stevenson, who's morally the lineal champion. Even though Andre Ward was the recognized lineal champion before retirement, he's morally still the lineal champion. I really believe.
Yeah, he's the man to beat him.
Go ahead.
He's the man to beat the man.
Exactly. And I really believe Sergey Kovalev should really try to make that fight happen. Whatever it takes. He didn't. the fight the second fight with Andre Ward, he went all the way down to the links of where he didn't get no damn purse. You know what I'm saying? So we know that
that's on his promoter.
I know, but my point is, we know he will agree to extenuating circumstances to make fights happen, right?
Yeah, when you agree to zero guarantee money and you're the only fighter on the fight card and you're fighting in the main event, to have that in your contract, yeah, you would.
Exactly. So
I remember when I broke that story, people didn't believe me. I got cussed out and everything. I'm like, I'm telling you, they'll release the person. State in Nevada automatically releases person. He
was the first one to have it. And I remember that. I remember people like, is that a mistake? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I remember that shit too.
I knew about it because Andre Ward had certain guaranteed money that was, was to be given to him. Unfortunately, the fight didn't generate the revenue I feel like it should have, because I don't know what the hell boxing fans want these days. But
right.
It just seems like the fights they should order, they don't, and then the fights that they shouldn't order, they do. So
are you making fun of Mayweather and McGregor again?
I can understand why that would succeed, because if you take one guy, the best from one sport and the best from another sport, a lot of fans from the other sports are going to order that just because they feel like their guy has a shot.
Right.
But
yeah, I knew that was going to sell the whole time.
Yeah, me and you both knew that, but I'm talking about like Canelo versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and fights like that.
Well, that was the Mexican fan base. That right there, that's automatic, no matter what.
That's straight partisan,
Yeah, that's automatic. If you're gonna appeal to the Mexican fan base, all them motherfuckers gonna buy it. I guarantee the whole goddamn city of San Antonio, Texas, bought that fight. You know what I'm saying? So
you saw how they felt at the end, right? So
yeah.
Sometimes it's just better to see the talent and go with the talent rather than the name.
Yep. I
think.
Go ahead, C.
I believe the Golovkin Canelo 2 will clear the 2.3 million buy mark. I honestly do now.
Canelo is clearly the most popular fighter in boxing right now in terms of being able to generate the most pay-per-view, all of that, right? Literally, a lot of you by now a lot of the listeners are coming from my channel over to this channel, so they all know that my wife is half Hispanic. And
Yes.
there's people on her side, on her Hispanic side, from Mexico, that don't watch boxing, but they know when the fuck a Canelo fight is happening.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's
So-
like that with you know, I'm Puerto Rican, so it's like that with my with certain people in my family,
Right.
and they could tell you when they could have told you when Tito Trinidad was gonna fight, when Miguel Cotto was gonna fight.
Yep.
They can't tell you when anybody else was gonna fight, but they can tell you about those guys. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
once you have that built-in fan base, man, it makes you a cash cow because there's other people that are gonna follow you too on top of them.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
that's what we got right now, man.
Yep. One more thing before we close it out, fellas. We have 50 minutes. C-Bone, with your news about Dmitry Bivol signing with Main Events and him being also a fellow Russian, I understand that Sergey Kovalev mentioned his name in the post-fight interview. Do you believe that him signing with Main Events makes that fight easier to make? Or would it be a situation where Kathy Duva's like, hey, I got two killers. I'm not going to make them fight each other and make one counter the other, or, you know, knock off the other one. I'm going to build both of them side by side, and they'll clear out 175. How do you see that working?
Technically, the fight's a hell of a lot easier to make. Now, will it be made? I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure. I know Rabansky, if you last week I did a piece which I talked to Bivol's original promoter with World of Box and Andre Rabansky, and he wasn't interested in a Kovalev fight. Didn't want it because he goes back a long ways with Kovalev, you know?
Right.
He said he knows that it could happen, but he's not real interested. So, I mean, he's not gung-ho on it. I think they're going to try to do Barrera first and probably then take a voluntary somewhere in between. Maybe even get Better Beeb or somebody in there. But
Okay.
he's going through some legal issues. He's got the same promoter that Stevenson has.
Okay.
So he's going through some legal issues, and his last fight was actually promoted by Top Rank.
Right.
So
Okay. Let me put it in a different perspective for Willie. Do you believe, from a business sense, it would be smart for Kathy Duva not to make that fight happen and to just better build both of those guys under her stable to the point where she could have the number 1 and number 2 guy at light heavyweight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Certain promotion company does that in Thailand right now with the little guys. So
Oh, hell yeah. Wang Han.
So-
Shit, I'll say it. Wang Han Minayotin and fucking knock out CP
Knock out
Freshmart
CP
at
Freshmart.
105. Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
so we seen this already. I could see this. Why not? You could even put them on on the same card.
Exactly.
Feature them together. You could it's a way to bring out a certain demographics. Like Russians will probably come out and support their guys. So why not? Why not keep trying to milk that cow?
I agree. Okay.
yeah, they're going to. I mean, well, let's think about it a minute. When you take away, if you remove Canelo and Golovkin from the picture, those probably HBO's two biggest names, Kovalev now.
True.
Yeah.
True. I agree with that.
Although Danny Jacobs has become a little bit more popular since the Golovkin fight, but not anything like Cole.
Yeah, he has, but I mean, he's not.
Not just yet.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even think. Well, nah, I think HBO would push Alexander Gavadzik before they push Danny Jacobs. That's just
Yeah.
my opinion. But
Yeah, but isn't he
Gavadzik-
with Top Rank?
No, he's with K2 Promotions,
Yeah.
and same one as Golovkin, but he is not tied down to a network. He's
No, he's not.
He's fought on 2 Top Rank cards back to back. One was HBO. The last one was on the Terrence Crawford and Dongo undercard. He fought on Top Rank.
yep.
Yeah, on ESPN.
ESPN.
But
Yeah.
that was my
So
point, though. They'd rather push him than a Danny Jacobs, in my opinion. I don't think HBO would necessarily push Danny Jacobs unless it's going to be for a Golovkin rematch.
No, I think they'll push him from the match room if they try.
Yeah.
It looks like they're trying to get match room. So they'll push him from the American side of it. But like I said, he's still not there yet quite. It'll be interesting to see what plays out next.
I totally agree with Willie here because, man, HBO benefits big from pushing him because they're in hot negotiations for them Joshua rights over here.
They sure do. Mm-hmm.
So you got to look at like the business side of it, like makes sense right about now.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. I just don't think they're gonna do it. That's all I'm saying. Just HBO is. I mean, they've been dumb for quite some time now. Look how they let go of Floyd Mayweather, the dumbest decision they ever made. You know? So,
yeah, I agree. Listen, I mean, I'm gonna say a guy that y'all know him, Rick Glazer.
Oh yeah.
I don't agree with much of what he says, but he's spot on about Peter Nelson. That is a fucking moron, buddy, with HBO.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So
if you look at HBO, right? Look at Showtime. They have a surplus between having the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, which they wanted the rights to because Mayweather won, and the last circus, like, look, they put out card after card after card after card, and the whole time they were doing that, HBO was struggling with a bad budget. So,
yep.
So some moves come back and bite you.
Man, I even think the whole fallout with Top Rank is gonna bite him.
Yeah, I believe that's already biting.
Yeah.
Oh, listen. There's a reason the Bob Father's been doing this so damn long now. You've heard the saying it's a dirty sport. Well, he's the dirtiest motherfucker in the game.
Right.
There's a reason he's been here a long time and been doing this a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, they boo-booed right there.
Hey, man. Yesterday I was lying. Today I'm telling you the truth.
Hey, famous quote from Bob Arum himself.
Hey, I've heard that they use that in damn motivational speaking and stuff. Some people do.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how that would motivate me. I don't see it right now.
I don't know either. That's the thing. I've tried to figure it out myself.
I don't think I need that for motivation. I'll pass on that one.
I mean, we could probably do a whole show on the mistakes that HBO has made.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's how bad it is. And it got to the point for a while there that I was like, am I watching boxing like American fighters, or are we going to just go to Europe? Because for a while they just seemed like all they had was Eastern European fighters, and that's why I was kind of happy when they signed Jacobs, so Baby Miller over there, and folks from different places, man. Good to see.
They signed and Boo Andretti too.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead and close it out. For my man C-Bone and my other man Willie the Kid, shout out to the movement and everybody who's moving with us. Four Corners Boxing Talk, truth and facts about boxing. Of course, my personal channel, Prodigy of Boxing Talk, the Movement Boxing Podcast, many others out there. Shout out to everybody who's moving with us as well. The subscribers, the listeners, the people that have subscribed to our Three Kings Boxing page on Facebook, Three Kings Boxing page on Instagram, on Twitter. This is a pre-podcast, just something we're doing for the YouTube page. This is not the actual podcast. So don't forget to go on Spreaker and subscribe to the actual podcast page when we get that up and running. All right. And also, last but not least, don't forget to go to threekingsboxing.com. My man C-Bone, my man Willie, they are putting up articles like hotcakes. Every fucking day I see like 6 more articles getting put up there. Shit's ridiculous. All types of boxing news, all types of insight, all types of real boxing knowledge from all 18 divisions. You know what I'm saying? Real shit over there. All right. Appreciate everybody listening, and we signing off.
See you.